All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Tuesday, July 3rd, 2018. All right, it's another simple day in the astrology. Not a whole lot going on. We do have the moon still in Aquarius, as was the case yesterday on Monday. So still a good time for accessing our individuality, expressing our unique self, and quite possibly getting involved with either group activities or focusing more on global or collective matters. So with that backdrop, we just have the moon over Neptune, who's been trining Jupiter this year. So maybe an activation of this, which has been in 2018 a bit of maybe inspiration about hopes or dreams or wishes, seeing how things kind of ebb and flow in terms of in the way we perceive them and how things come in divine timing. This type of stuff is getting activated again, but nothing new since 2018. And we also do have Mercury pretty close to the North Node, so maybe some new understandings about how we think about things, how we communicate, and with this in Cancer, maybe a little bit of new understanding about our past or our roots. All right, so let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so let's take a look at the sky here for this Tuesday. Again, we are using what's called true sidereal astrology, which is the actual size of the constellations. And this is different from mainstream astrology. So if you do notice the signs are different, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. All right, so Aquarius, the water bearer, the time essentially of kind of two things. One is getting in touch with our unique selves, our true self, you could say, and expressing this, cultivating it, and as a result, seeing where we fit in the larger perspective, right? Where do we fit in our communities, network circles, friends, and then even larger than that, global matters, collective matters. So likely themes around this, we could just be thinking or concerned about these types of things, our individuality, collective things, and likely a theme pertaining to it. So really good to cultivate this, and develop it and just become aware of what is this time period now collectively of Aquarius. So let's do a quick recap since we have a simple day in the astrology. We do have the sun in Gemini still, so great time for doing practical things like reading or writing, communication. This is our source of energy at this time with the sun in Gemini. Let's talk about Venus. Venus is very well set in Leo now. So when it comes to what we're enjoying, we could be enjoying a bit more of creative things. When it comes to relationships, maybe a bit of playfulness, lightheartedness, right? A bit of fun, entertainment, these types of things. Anything that is a passion or a joy, really good to be connecting to at this time, and also to be connecting through with our relationships as well. So this Mercury is very close to the North Node right now in Cancer. So what we're thinking about collectively is likely a little bit more about the past, our roots, reflecting on things a bit, and when communicating, likely in a way that is a little bit more about connecting on a more caring or protective sort of level. So with this conjunction, though, with the North Node, usually the North Node is also about learning, but it is about a whole new type of understanding. So new understanding about how we think, Mercury, right? And perhaps how we communicate, also Mercury. And this is an energy that's going to be with us pretty much this whole middle part of the week. And also in Cancer, this has been this new energy of this year of really understanding a little bit more about our past or our roots. Now this, of course, can be in this life, but also even past life on a soul level is what Cancer symbolizes, our soul. So great time to be reflecting a bit, right? Not in terms of telling stories, but just kind of reflecting in terms of our inner guidance, what comes up emotionally, listening to that inner guidance, listening to what our bodies have to say. It's usually communicated through feelings or emotions, this type of stuff. And creating protective environments for ourselves to do this, and for others as well in those relationships. So maybe some new shifts with that energy here with that conjunction this week. All right, and of course Mars is still retrograde, went retrograde last week. So great time to still be reflecting on what do we want and how can we attain what we want. This is a 2-month retrograde, so still a time of reflecting on this. When it comes to us taking action, good to be receptive, good to kind of take a step back and just be flexible with going about, going after what we want, asserting ourselves, pursuing our goals, these types of things, because we are learning a lot about who we are and what we want during this retrograde collectively. All right, so the most important thing, of course, is this Aquarius energy. So as you can see here in the aspects, no major aspects going exact today, except with the moon. We are entering into the disseminating phase of the cycle, lunar cycle, this part of the week. So good time to be taking any insights you may have gained since last week's full moon, around Wednesday, Thursday, and implement them this week, right? Excellent time to do that. And there is still a bit of heightened energy, even though the energies are dying down. We're approaching the ending phase of the cycle. Still a bit of heightened time, so good to use a bit of that momentum if you are feeling that. All right, and then the moon going over Neptune, who's been trining up to Jupiter this year in 2018. There could be another shift in the right direction. Nothing major, but maybe the later part of the day, if there's anything that you've been a bit hopeful about this year, maybe inspired, maybe there's been some dreams coming in that you're starting to see a new perspective with. This is now starting to develop one step again in a sort of monthly cycle with the moon here, right? So great to be open-minded about possibilities, view our perspective, but at the same time see how things do ebb and flow, how things are outside of our control. There is this divine process, but at the same time, things do come in divine timing, right? This type of thing. And a really good day for anything that does require a bit of a spiritual reset, connecting to the present moment, and again, being open-minded with this more present connection. Fantastic with the trine to Jupiter. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. Nothing major, but some minor things. And I would say the most important thing being the moon in Aquarius, the backdrop around our individuality, cultivating that, as well as our role in the collective, which could be in a more immediate sense, like our network circles, friends, community, but also even perhaps focusing on larger matters, maybe global matters, collective matters, and see how we can contribute to the greater whole. All right, so have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast.